Hey everybody, welcome to Movies We're Talking About, where we talk and talk and talk about movies. I'm John Carlos, and I am joined by returning guest, Craig Duffy. Say hello, Craig.
Hi, I'm Craig. I'm a returning guest.
You are, and you have written some things,
Yeah,
thecinematiclife.com, and, and,
yeah.
and
My wife and I have a blog. Yes.
that and that has been compiled into some books.
Yes, you can find those on Amazon. Fuck you, Jeff Bezos. But it was the easiest way to get in print.
There
Mostly,
you
I just
go.
wanted a way, like if Blogger, which is where I did the blog, if that ever goes the way of the dodo, all that writing will have vanished. So I wanted a hard copy.
Yes,
And
books are physical media too.
yes, I'm wearing a I Heart Physical Media shirt.
Yeah. Speaking of physical media, I have my Jackie Brown DVD and 4K back there. I think I had the widescreen VHS back in the day, but I think that's gone. There's a period. If I knew, I don't want to word this because it's not if I knew then, if I knew now, because it's
Mhm.
not about value, like physical money value, but like
Mhm.
there's a time during the dawn of DVDs
Mhm.
where I would sell my VHS. Why do I need this anymore?
Mhm.
Because I just got the DVD and that's better. But now, like, I like to hang on to every edition, the DVD, and then the special edition DVD, and the
Well,
it's
you
like
have
collecting
your
records. I would
yeah.
have kept Jackie Brown so I could have my VHS and my DVD.
Well, I see on Instagram sometimes you'll post like all your various editions of
Yeah,
just the dips.
yeah. And I don't think I have Jackie Brown anymore, and I kind of regret that.
Mm. I'm not certain. I can't remember if I ever had it on VHS. I for sure have the old two disc with the bullet holes and
Yeah,
yeah.
the because I mean that was an exciting time for DVD, where especially like Disney was investing so much in like
Well,
if a
they
movie
bought
was
and
coming out, we would
yeah.
really treat you with a sleeve and a.
Well, it's got the was it the restaurant? I think it's got the yeah, but the poster, yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
out poster, and then because I believe I remember that and the pulp two disc are dropped on the same day. I remember going and
yes,
buying both. Probably, I think at Best Buy over. Yeah, see that poster. Yeah, I
yeah,
remember. Yeah, I bought them both. I think it was the Best Buy over by Westminster Mall.
yeah. These definitely dropped on the same day. I remember that.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, as if I didn't mention this before, but we're here to talk about Jackie Brown,
Yeah.
um, which I mean, I hesitate to use the word underrated
Mhm.
or undercelebrated because there are people in the community.
Mhm.
We're not alone in liking this movie,
There are
but
dozens of us.
still,
No.
yeah, yeah, we have friends everywhere. Um, but especially at the time compared to Pulp Fiction, which instantly had a very vocal fan base, not just critics, but young film nerds
Yep.
discovering the zip zam pow of that movie,
Yeah.
and I remember all the marketing of like this Christmas Santa's got a brand new bag and it's a bag full of money and
Mhm.
and
And
and just that.
famously,
Was it the trailer that kept showing the different takes of like Jackie
oh,
Brown,
Pam Grier is Jackie
Jackie Brown,
Richie.
yeah, and all that hype and I mean I this isn't a knock against the movie, but it is not the zip bam pow of Pulp Fiction.
Yep. And it was 3 years between like a lot of anticipation that maybe people felt let down by at the time.
Sure, which I
Mhm.
which I get
Mhm.
if you want the same thing, and I'm not, and you know what? You're not wrong for being let down. It's just it's a different beast altogether, and it's just a
Yeah,
beast that maybe you didn't know you were ready for. Um,
exactly. But yeah, I had some friends who were a little let down. So I, so was it when Pulp Fiction came out? I was in fourth grade, so a little young to see it, and but it permeated the culture. It was everywhere. Tarantino hosted SNL. Tarantino did that episode of Margaret Cho's All American Girl with all the like inside jokes.
he directed an
So
episode of ER.
yes, so I couldn't. see the movie, but I knew it was something. Like I would go, I was friends with lots of like punkers and skaters, and we would go into skate shops and like fucking Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction poster omnipresent, and I couldn't see the movie, but I could download and read the screenplay. So I did. So that was, my first, and then I was able to buy biographies of Quentin Tarantino, like at the bookstore. I read three, like cheapy, like, okay, this guy's hot. Let's crank out some bios
Hmm.
on him.
I had
Um,
one, I believe it was called Quentin Tarantino, The Cinema of Cool, which was an
okay.
unauthorized biography. Yeah.
I believe I had that one. The only one I've kept is the one called Shooting from the Hip.
Hmm.
Because in the back it has a list of Quentin's favorite films, and that was like kind of like roughly, because by the time I got that, I was in middle school, so sixth or seventh grade. Um, and then that was about the time like the AFI did 100 years, 100 movies. So I had my two lists that like I'm okay, checking off the AFI list and checking off the Quentin Tarantino list, And so I've kept that one just for the nostalgia factor. But so Jackie Brown was the first one that I was old enough to, well, I still wasn't
But
17. Um
relatively.
yeah, well, so my two best friends in elementary and middle school, they were twin brothers, Chris and John Wynn, and their birthday was in February. And even though this movie came out at Christmas, things stayed in the theater, for a while, and so in early February, Jackie Brown was still in the theaters, and I was able to talk them into let's go on your birthday and we'll see Jackie Brown. And so I made my friends watch Jackie Brown for their birthday. Um, I loved it. Were they saw a rated R movie, so they were. Yeah, because then yeah, that would have been, I think that was like seventh grade. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, I got to imagine if when you're young like that,
mhm,
that Jackie Brown's not going to scratch any itch. Like, there's no gratuitous there's barely any violence,
mhm,
and it's just a few gunshots.
yeah.
There's no gore to speak of.
Mhm.
There's a whole lot of the N word.
Yeah. Well,
And
yeah, because this is the one that really made the rift between Spike and
yeah,
Quentin.
yeah, a very, very, especially in the '90s, like a very covered in the press.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then
And and
I guess, yeah, you do, see not so glamorous and also not that interesting. Just like, I don't know, just kind of moaning in the kitchen for the last
oh.
10 seconds, and I love you. Yeah, like
uh,
I'm just saying, like I can imagine like a 13-year-old or like a 12-year
mhm.
old,
Like
like
what's in this for me?
R-rated. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we got far less here than another, one. Well, we didn't see it in the theater, but being middle schoolers in the age of, Marilyn Manson, like renting Lost Highway,
Mhm.
and we got our money's worth
Oh yeah,
there.
that was me
Um,
with the Fire Walk with Me.
oh,
I didn't understand what the fuck was going on when I saw it when I was like 11 or 12, but
mm,
there was some there
scandalousness.
was some scandalousness happening in that movie.
Mhm.
So yeah, um, yeah. I came from, like, I ended up seeing Pulp Fiction. I never got to see Pulp Fiction in theaters,
Mhm.
but I did. I wasn't allowed to see it when it came out. I was still 13.
Mhm.
Um, but what ended up happening is, like most things, you would just go to someone else's house whose parents didn't care about that sort of thing, and you
Yeah.
rented it and watched it there.
Mhm.
But the way I got into it though was by the time I was a freshman in high school, what I would do was I'd sometimes on the days I had lunch money,
Mhm.
I would order slightly less food that was allotted. So I would pocket like a quarter or 50 cents. And over the course of many months, I would save up about $20.
Hmm.
And then I would go to Best Buy and I would buy Pulp Fiction, my own secret copy that my parents didn't
Hmm.
know I had, which at the time was also the widescreen edition
Hmm.
that included deleted scenes after the feature film.
Hmm.
In that era where like Laserdisc was still a thing for the movie nerds, but sometimes they'd throw VHS people a bone.
What was it? I think they have it at my in-laws. It's American Beauty on two VHS because they gave you because it was by then competing with DVD, and so like a second VHS with like deleted scenes and like a
Mm.
making of to
Yeah, I
like.
remember that. Yeah, the only one that was like that I had was Scream. Came out um, technically. I think DVD
Mhm.
did exist in '96, but barely
Mhm.
for anybody. It
Yeah.
hadn't taken off yet. So we're still talking about the Laserdisc era. But
Mhm.
there was a nice edition of Scream that came with the second VHS, which was the entire movie with commentary,
Oh wow.
which was fucking dope for
Yeah.
someone like me. That was awesome.
Did that commentary ever get like ported over to
Mhm.
like eventual DVD and such release? Okay.
Yeah, no, it's out there,
Yeah.
but to have that on VHS was cool.
Hmm.
So yeah, I was already like on board for this. I don't want to say it was like underwhelmed, but it definitely wasn't exactly what I was expecting. But
Hmm.
even pretty early on, I'm like, no, I get what you're going for. I just had to readjust a little bit. And
Hmm.
this isn't even like something he said in hindsight. This isn't even something that critics said, although I'm sure some of them did. But
Hmm.
Quentin Tarantino was pretty lucid enough about his career and his intentions, even in 1997, to say like, I know I can't or I shouldn't attempt to outdo Pulp
Hmm.
Fiction. It'd be
Yeah.
foolish to. So I
Hmm.
chose to like underdo. I forget what the wording was, but it was,
Hmm.
how can I top it? I can't. So I'm just going to go under it.
Hmm.
And he quite literally made a movie that does not have the same pulse.
Hmm.
But I mean, all of his movies still have the same love of what I call the yap, 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 yap.
Oh yeah.
It's what we're here for.
Well, yeah. I
Um,
mean, that's what like I think that's what drew him to Elmore Leonard is
mhm.
Elmore Leonard novels are just so much they're dialogue porn.
Yeah, I remember because they'd made Get Shorty,
Hmm.
and I know it was a hit. But I remember seeing that even though I forget what publication said this, but someone said that even though Jackie Brown changes things from Rum Punch,
Yeah.
this still manages to be a more accurate movie to Elmer
Mhm.
Leonard's approach than
Get
Get
shorty.
Shorty or anything else.
Hmm.
I've never read the book. I
Yeah,
don't know what's been changed.
I owned it
I own it
and
too. I
I
bought it and never read it.
yeah, I owned it and I even owned also The Switch, which is the earlier novel with the same with Lewis and Ordell. Like the stuff
Hmm,
that they like kind of allude to in this, like that's in The Switch. And
that's
so
cool.
I had both of those novels and read about maybe a combined 10 pages between the two. Um, but yeah.
Um, Speaking of just things that were connected, I lost my mind when I saw Out of Sight and Michael Keaton showed up as Ray Nicolette.
Yes.
For some reason, a slightly dumber Ray Nicolette, but
Mhm.
whatever. That sort of interconnectivity, especially from
In a
not the
pre-MCU.
not the yeah, but not only that, but like we're talking about different directors and a different studios,
Yeah.
completely different studios.
Hmm.
Just so happens that both these novels feature Ray Nicolette, so like, hey, let's just cast Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
And then my God, did I for half a second I freaked out when Sam Jackson showed up at the very, very end.
uh-huh.
And then it was just like,
Like,
no, we're just
wait,
doing stunt cat. I'm like, didn't he fucking
yeah,
die?
he died.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. That was it. It was a little while longer before I got around I to Out of Sight. Like I knew about the crossover, like just from like probably Ain't It Cool News or wherever.
Hmm.
But when all my friends went to see that, my friend Megan talked me into Gone with the Wind was re-released in theaters that same weekend for like, the 50th anniversary. So while all the rest of our friends went and saw that,
Oh,
like we were out for the like intermission when they were like done with the movie and they're like, "Bye guys. Enjoy your
I,
rest of your.
I mean, I respect its place in the history of film, but I kind of want to say you chose poorly.
I did. Yeah.
Uh, but besides, the connective tissue with
Mm.
Michael Keaton, like it was exciting to see him be dumber, only because I don't want to. I have no offense to him. I mean, he's meant to be comedic
Mhm.
off of Dennis Farina and all that, but I never appreciated until later how I'm like, well, it's not that he's not the smartest guy in the world in Jackie Brown either. For some reason, I never really appreciated just how often, like for a federal agent, like his outfits, like he's wearing like shorts, like
Mhm.
he walks in wearing these things that you would never think a federal agent who's going to be interviewing a witness and
Mhm.
works for the ATF and wants to bust his drug runner and like let me wear my leather jacket and my like little silly shorts. He's so casual.
Yeah,
He's an
very much.
interesting guy,
I mean that's the Michael Keaton vibe, like a
right?
gumshoe, like
But
just.
I look at his attire, I look at his demeanor, and I just want to pull Max Cherry aside and tell him, dude, you don't have to worry about him. You're fine. You don't have to worry about him. He wears shorts with a leather jacket. You're fine.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the. I mean, one of the greater compliments, not compliments, I guess one of the things I really like about this movie is,
Mhm.
and this is going to sound not offensive or anything, but like it's not like the plot, the
Mhm.
scheme,
Mhm.
the heist of it all isn't breaking any new ground.
Yeah.
You've seen this before, and you've probably seen more detailed, complicated versions, more twisty turny versions of this before.
Mhm.
Um, but for lack of a better word, like you're here for the vibes.
Yeah.
You're here for
Very, very much a vibes movie.
even the scenes that are setting things up. Other versions of this movie where that scene would be 2 minutes.
Mhm.
This is all the 10-minute version.
Yeah, we're gonna take our time. We're in
Yeah.
no rush. Well,
We're going to
because
get you
like,
the language. We're going to get you the silence. We're going to get you all this atmosphere.
well, because I was watching some of the bonus features, and like they were like, it's movies friggin' called Jackie Brown. You open with Jackie, but like you got a good a half hour
I
really
wrote it
before.
down.
Yeah. And
She,
but then.
besides the opening credits
Mhm.
in that first scene, she
Mhm.
doesn't show up until 27 minutes and 53 seconds.
Exactly. But what was it Tarantino was pointing out that like the whole all the Beaumont stuff is almost like its own little like you watch what happens with Beaumont to know what could happen to Jackie.
Yes. In fact, because I haven't watched this movie in many years,
Uh-huh.
and and I've been getting the itch. So
Mhm.
Lionsgate's timing with the new 4K, great
Mhm.
timing. But I remember as I started this viewing, and we were thinking before we even really got into it, I'm like, we probably could cut all the Beaumont shit out of this movie, right?
Mhm.
And then the more the movie kept going, the
Mhm.
second the second it becomes about picking up Jackie, I'm like, no, you need all the Beaumont stuff because it gives it tells you the danger she's in without ever having to
Mhm.
turn and tell you the
Yeah.
danger she's in.
Mhm.
And then there were several moments within the next hour of the movie where I was constantly going, oh no, we needed the Beaumont for this.
Mhm.
Oh, we needed the Beaumont for this. Like it tells
Mhm.
you a lot. You needed
Yeah.
all that.
Mhm.
But like a lot of things with Quentin, it isn't just, well, I'm going to go pick this guy up. It's like, no, we're going to have a whole conversation outside, blah, 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 blah. It takes a long time to leave the thing, but again, we're here for the ear for dialogue and we're here for
Mhm.
the atmosphere. The atmosphere more than anything like pulls you into the world because that's to me this is what it's like to be in a living room with Ordell. This is what it's like.
Mhm.
It isn't just zipping along.
Well, and I
Um,
feel like, like Quentin, he used to talk about like, oh, I have the real world and I have the movie universe, like that he had two world, like that, like Kill Bill was the movie world, like the movie
oh,
where, fourth wall breaks and, fantastical things can happen. And that there's also the real world where like, Reservoir Dogs and, Pulp Fiction take place. And, this is very much one of those real world movies. And I think more than I mean, I don't think he's actually even made a real world film since Jackie Brown. I feel like a lot of, because
Hmm.
after, yeah, everything else has been in movie world, but more than any of the other real world ones, because of where Quentin, I think he really knew this world because like video archives in friggin' Manhattan Beach. This is a South Bay movie. He
Hmm.
knows these places. And so like, I don't know, just it comes through in that, like what was that? It was LA Taco has a really good article I just read from like 2017, I think, about like going back to a lot of the locations and that was I think it's the bar that Robert Forster takes Jackie to after he gets her out of jail, like the darkly
Uh-huh.
lit one. Like that was a specific bar, like that. He wrote it in the script, and they were trying to find other places. Like, why don't we just go to the place I wrote? And I think it had been closed for years. Like, and there was debates over who owned the rights or who like owned the physical building, and like palms had to be greased, but that they were able to shoot in this specific bar. And so I think there's a familiarity that he, had for the area, and it comes through in the film.
Dude, it totally, like, it's not even, I find it interesting that, and again, I would love to see the original novel and see where it was set, but there's something about
Florida. It was
okay,
Florida.
yeah, which I think is where the big bounce took place, if I'm not
Hmm.
mistaken.
Yeah.
Um, there's nothing glamorous or quote unquote cool about like any of these locations. It's
Hmm.
all very, it's not even industrial, but like just, it's like working,
Yeah.
like it's, but not high end business districts. It's just
Strip malls and
strip malls,
oh,
like where you would likely find a bail bondsman or
yep.
like a district of like roofers and tile people. And I love that choice to set this movie entirely in very grounded,
Hmm.
very unglamorous. They don't even shoot. I mean, there's not even a choice to even set it anywhere near Hollywood or like
Hmm.
L.A. or
Yeah.
West L.A. or like downtown L.A.
Hmm.
or
But then it even,
Burbank,
yeah.
like,
But then it does
or
it
even the South Bay areas that are cool, like Manhattan Beach or like Redondo. I think
mhm.
they do visit some Redondo things, but not any of the cool places.
Yeah. But even like, oh, Compton, he's putting on the screen text like letting you know,
Mhm.
okay, we're in Compton now, we're in, uh the Del Amo Fashion Center, like with the parenthetical about like the world's biggest
Yeah,
shopping. Just like he wanted to, you know.
that's that's the most glamorous the movie gets, by the way.
Mhm.
The Del Amo Mall.
Well, what was it? Also in that LA Taco article I was reading, they said that in order to like get that location, I think it was Tarantino, Forster, and Grier had to do like a hands in cement thing for them all. And then in doing this article, the guy went back. He's like, "Where are they?" I'm like, I don't even know. Like they did their hands in cement. Like nobody told me. Like so like somewhere out there
It's just
are
in
their
someone's
hands.
home office.
Yeah.
The former
Yeah.
manager of the mall. Yeah, I remember I used to do a lot of theater in South Bay when I was a kid, and
Mhm.
everybody, I only went in my entire life. I've been to the Del Amo Mall once.
Mhm.
It's not far from me. I just don't
Mhm.
go. But I had one friend who was always just like, "Oh, we go to the Del Amo Mall. You know, it's the biggest mall in the world, right? It's the biggest mall, or it's the biggest mall in the country. We got to go. You have to go. You have to." I'm like, I get it. It's a fucking. I don't care. But the second that it goes like Del Amo Mall, the biggest, I'm like, oh my.
Yeah.
Does that if Quentin does Quentin Tarantino, does everyone call it the biggest mall?
Mhm.
It just made me laugh. But
Yeah.
that is the fanciest that movie gets.
Mhm. What was it? At one point, how like Alamo Drafthouse would do like the Rolling Road show,
Yeah.
like show that they were gonna do. I didn't end up going to it at all, but originally they were, I believe, the original was they were gonna do it in the parking lot of the Del Amo Mall, Jackie Brown, and then like last minute it got pivoted to like somewhere by LAX. Like, oh, it's an airport movie too. Like, and they had to pivot to that. And then when the venue change happened, I like scrapped it all together. But
Bummer.
yeah. that would have been cool to see it at the mall parking lot.
It would have been.
Like maybe
Uh,
right where for Melanie asks
boy,
one question too
boy,
many.
did that shock me the first time.
Yeah,
But I mean, just De Niro. I mean, De Niro is playing the
dumb as
intensity
shit.
of a guy. No, but a guy who's so irritated that like one more thing is going to set him off. Just one more fucking thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, I had a huge response to the first time I saw this too because it has nothing to do with the movie, but the way De Niro looks in this once he combs his hair back for the mall sequence,
Hmm.
he looked just like my grandfather, and
Hmm.
it freaked me out. Where I'm like, my grandpa's in this movie. That's what my grandpa looks like. Same mustache.
Hmm.
Wow, this is really weird.
Hmm.
Um, especially when you look at not only his body work leading up to this movie, but I think even funnier just in hindsight his entire body work because this is pre,
Meet
Rocky
the Fox.
Bullwinkle and Meet the Fockers and all that, and then also kind of returning to, but it's it's first of all, I think it's a great performance.
Hmm.
I am shocked that he agreed it because not only is it not a lead role, he's been in ensembles, but there's not a lot of text in the script for him,
Yeah.
and I don't want to pigeonhole it by calling it comedic,
Hmm.
but it is comedic on top
Hmm.
of, but I don't want to say it's beneath De Niro or like a waste of his time because it's not. But what I am saying is that like at this point in his career, playing this size of a role and this dumb of a guy
Hmm.
really surprised me that he would do it.
Hmm.
Aside from the opportunity to work with Quentin, maybe. But
Yeah.
once he's in it, he's so fucking in it, and
Yeah.
he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Just, in the background of a scene or, like coming in when, he's talking to Mac, when Ordell's talking to Max, like about the car keys and how
Yeah,
to, yeah.
go in there and listen to some music, just
Yeah.
yeah. He has a great way of bumbling in the background.
Hmm.
Um, and he's even. I mean, I really admit though that even though he's a bit of a fool, I still love watching him think when he's listening to Melanie kind of prattle on, and we get to that scene at the bar of him explaining how you can't trust her. Like it's a weird thing compared to like Godfather 2 or Taxi Driver for me
Hmm.
to call it a masterful performance,
Hmm.
but it really is.
Hmm.
I honestly think it's one of his best. It may not be
Yeah.
that obvious. It's fucking outstanding.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Good shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I'd ever. I'd be curious if there ever was a possibility of some sort of prequel because I would love to have seen Ordell and him
I
younger
believe,
and
I
not in
believe,
this place.
yeah, I believe they did adapt the Switch. Here, I'm going to do that thing where I get my phone out. I believe they adapted it. And is somebody ridiculous um as the Ordell and the
Are you talking about? But this wouldn't have been. This would have been some other
yeah, oh,
adaptation.
I'm saying yeah, exactly. Um, but I'm trying to figure out just who like was their B team De Niro and
Oh, like the casting of
exactly who did they cast?
right, like the Dumb and Dumberer cast version of
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
the Romy and Michelle TV movie.
Yes.
Who was the Katherine Heigl?
Ex
And,
exactly.
well, while you're looking that up, I can't
Yeah.
help but wonder because we touched upon the Spike Lee. Uh,
Hmm.
I remember when that news broke,
Hmm.
and I think Spike Lee kind of accused Quentin of like, does he wish he was black? Is that
Hmm.
why he thinks he can? Because it had a record, I think, at the time, right? If it wasn't a record, at least someone counted to be like, they say the N word like
Hmm.
137 times in this movie. And Spike Lee's like, is that why he thinks he gets to write the N word? All I'm wondering is, did that hash ever get settled? I remember
Um,
Spike Lee's initial statements.
yeah.
I don't know
Well,
whatever happened after that.
well, I know that I believe Sam Jackson took uh kind of Tarantino's side, and it was a rift for a long time between Jackson and Lee. And that was finally like settled when when Old Boy, I think, was their first pairing, post that riff. And now Spike directs all of Sam Jackson's Capital One
Hmm.
commercials. Like that's how what Spike Lee.
Yeah, because I know. Besides just like that one Spike Lee incident, I know that Quentin has several times gotten Quentin's back
Mhm.
on that sort of subject throughout
Yeah.
some other movies.
But and then I found it. So it wasn't called when they made it into a movie, it wasn't called The Switch. It was called Life of Crime, made in 2013, starring as Lewis, John Hawkes,
Oh, okay.
and as Ordell, Yassine Bey, Mos Def.
Oh, I vaguely remember
Will
hearing about
Forte,
this.
Isla Fisher, Jennifer Aniston are also in it. Um,
Huh.
yeah.
I
So-
almost might maybe want to consider possibly watching that.
But yeah, so that's the
Interesting.
closest we would ever get to a Jackie Brown prequel, in a manner of speaking.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So I'm glad Spike Lee and Sam buried the hatchet, but
Mhm.
is there still to this day like bad blood between Quentin and
Probably. Well, yeah, I'm trying to think. Because just before it was when Spike used Quentin in Girl Six. Spike
Hmm.
acts in Girl Six, which I just revisited, which is really, really good. Girl Six is slept on. Spike Lee, kind of gets forgotten in
The
there.
Jackie Brown, if you will, of the Spike Lees.
Yes. With the score is by Prince, you know.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know. It'd be interesting to,
To Google it.
yeah.
Or whatever. There's a yeah. Whatever search engine you prefer that doesn't whatever.
Give you AI summaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you're watching this video on YouTube, which is owned by Google. So
Yeah.
whatever. But
I
the
was,
one the one
mm.
thing I really so Pam Grier deserves her flowers, but I need to
Oh
but
yes.
before that, I want to pivot to something else, which is that at the time it seemed like the hype was
Mhm.
between, Entertainment Weekly and Premiere Magazine and whatever
Mhm.
you saw on TV and the talk around school or the water cooler was,
Mhm.
was John Travolta. Quentin, engineered this great comeback, and look at him
Mhm.
now. And he was this big star in the '70s, and now he's making this movie starring Pam Grier. Oh
Mhm.
my gosh, he's gonna do it again. It's called
Mhm.
Jackie Brown, and it felt, at least within my community,
Mhm.
both verbally but also kind of critically in print, is that
Mhm.
the takeaway was like Robert Forster's really fucking good in this movie.
Yes.
Like, kind of dominated the discourse. But when I
Mhm.
watched the movie, I'm like, I get why though. He's fucking great in it.
Oh yeah.
And I watched it. I'm like the two. It's really, I mean, because Robert Forster also. I mean, I'll be honest with you. This is my first Robert Forster that I could recall, at least that I knew of. He might have been in something that I saw before that was like, oh, did you know he was in Rep Rep Rep? But
Mhm.
the
I,
two of them both pretty much show up, deliver, and
mhm.
both get their comebacks in
Yeah.
a sense, or their spotlights.
Yes.
I don't know if comeback's the right word. Travolta, because Travolta was working, but he was
Mhm.
doing like fucking like look who's
Look
talking
who's
to.
talking now. Look who's
Yeah,
talking with
well,
the
that was the
dog.
same year, wasn't it?
As Pulp Fiction, I think
Yeah,
either same year or year before.
but he
So
was doing
like,
talking baby movies.
yeah.
Although I do like the first one.
Mhm.
But
I mean, I believe the same year as this for Robert Forster was him co-starring with our friend Chris Ogden in Uncle Sam,
oh my
the
god,
Bill Lustig movie.
yeah,
He plays like a corrupt politician who gets, killed by Uncle Sam.
yeah. I you'd think with my interests, I would have seen Uncle Sam. I still haven't.
When Robert Forster died, the New Beverly showed a shit ton of his films, and
Mhm.
they showed Uncle Sam. And I got Chris in touch with the New Beverly people, and Chris showed up to that screening.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's dope. Well, thank you for making that happen.
Yeah. It was like
Um,
right before the pandemic, so it was one of the last great things. Or
yeah,
probably that.
I mean, so just in that same way that Travolta was working,
Hmm.
but now all of a sudden he wasn't working in Look Who's Talking Dog movies.
Hmm.
He was doing Broken Arrow and Get Shorty and Face Off and
Hmm.
headlining
Michael
and yeah.
phenomenon.
Hey, I like Michael. Michael's a good time. Uh, Pam Grier, I had already known because just a year prior she was in Escape from LA and she was in Mars Attacks. Like she's working, but neither of those are lead roles.
Hmm.
And as
Was this
much as
before or after? Was it Original Gangstas also? The like her
I
and
think this was after Original Gangsters.
okay,
I
so yeah,
think.
yeah.
This was definitely long after my introduction to her, Bill and Ted's
Mm.
Bogus Journey.
Mm. I just rewatched Excellent Adventure the other night.
So
Just
good.
the world was getting me down. I
Yep.
needed some, the message of being excellent to each other.
Yeah. It's a very important message right now. Um, Original Gangsters was 1996, so that was also
Okay.
the year before. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, but I don't. I think a part of the reason why the buzz was Pam Grier, Pam Grier, Pam Grier is because the movie's titled her. If
Mhm.
you watch the movie,
Mhm.
it's the two of them, and
Mhm.
it's Quentin's fondness for the two of them.
Mhm.
The script is presenting opportunity for two act.
Yeah, it's a two-hander. Just as
It's
they pull
yeah,
off
and I
the
think
heist together, they pull off the movie together.
he's trying to offer them both an opportunity.
Mhm.
He loves both of them. It's not
Mhm.
until you title the movie and you put her front and center that the media
Mhm.
goes off with this, where then you have a narrative where, oh my God, Robert Forster. But
So do you think under if it had been titled Rum Punch, like would the
yeah, we'd be talking
scales
about
have
both
been
of them.
more? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Even the marketing, the marketing is Jackie Brown,
Yeah.
over and over. But there's so many. There's first of all, it's just in the script. It's when you're at her apartment and she starts
Mhm.
playing the Delphonics.
Mhm.
And I'm willing to bet maybe somewhere in your life you've done this too, where there's somebody you're fond of.
Mm.
Oh, you like what band? And now all of a sudden you're going to go seek that band out. So,
Yeah,
I mean, like,
he goes straight to Sam Goody.
you go straight to Sam Goody. He's listening to it in the car. And it's like there's a point I can't remember where it's like I think he's listening to the car in his car for the second time, like
Mhm.
when he gets to the mall for the
Mhm.
heist. And this
Mhm.
is like their second or third time of him listening to the song. I'm like, oh, dude, you got it bad. The fact that this is our third time seeing you in the car. Oh, but that's the language, right? Is this is how
Yeah,
we know where he's at is
through the
because of
music.
an audio cue. I mean, that's
Well, interesting. An audio.
cinema.
Yes, an audio cue I was thinking about was when Lewis and excuse me, Melanie are going to the mall. She's like singing along to the song, da da da, and then he shoots her in the parking lot, gets in the car. That song is still on the radio. It almost sticks the knife in, like, oh,
Oh yeah,
she was, you instantly go back to her, like, drumming on her knees or whatever and like, oh. I was thinking about her also this time. Like I think they said she's like 34, 35,
hmm
the character, like, and like to just be like washed up, at that, like she's realizing, not Bridget Fonda, but the character of Melanie, like, oh, like, you know, how long am I going to be able to be the, beach bunny, the eye candy, the stuff like that. And so, you know, she's like, I need to start, planning for, what's next, have my little nest egg, because who knows how long till Ordell kicks me to the curb for
right.
the next model.
I mean, and what's funny is when you know about you, oh, I got this girl set up here in Compton and this girl
Hmm.
here, but when you find out, like, oh no, but her play, well, I forget what city she's supposed to be in. It's not
Hermosa
Venice, is it
Beach.
Hermosa?
Yeah.
That's her place.
Hmm.
He's dropping in to her place. That's not one of his places that he stashes her at. So I mean,
Yeah, was it in that LA Taco article they talked about you never see Ordell's place? No.
no, not at all. I mean, that's a performance. It's almost
The Ordell performance?
yeah, it's almost cartoony and unbelievable. Except I've met some cartoony and unbelievable people,
What was
but
it?
he
Not.
does a great job of kind of being full of shit and high on his own farts.
Mhm. But yeah, not on this viewing, but on the last viewing, I found him a bit much like you're ridiculous. With just too much. And then on this one, I'm all like, oh, that kind of makes him more threatening,
Yeah,
that he has both aspects to him. Like he can still, fucking kill you, choke you, and still be a fucking, rube.
yes. Um, as in life, sometimes some of the most dangerous people are dumb people who,
Hmm. Yeah, you get them corner, an idiot, and they'll need to get out some way.
yeah. Um, but there's something about Samuel L. Jackson, and I
Hmm.
love when actors can do this because not everyone can, where
Hmm.
they can show me them thinking and like figuring it all out.
Hmm.
And I'm not even talking about the one where like he's in the van with De Niro and we're slowly pushing in. But there's just pretty much once everything goes to shit,
Hmm.
when Max Cherry comes to explain how you're going to come to the office, just the way every piece of information unfolds, the way he takes every piece of data in, we get to see him process it, what to be afraid of, what I'm going to say next, what my
Hmm.
next move is. Like he's one of the best actors as far as I can think of, who you can give him no dialogue, and he will show you every move happening.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yes.
even with a character like Ordell.
Yes.
Uh, but
Yeah.
but bringing it back to Max Cherry,
Yes.
one of my favorite moments of this movie
Hmm.
is when they're in the and he goes to get his gun back.
Hmm.
She plays Delphonics. He's just sitting in the chair and he's just looking at her,
Hmm.
and I'm like, there's no dialogue. She's just kind of dancing a little bit as she put the record on, and
Hmm.
I'm like, if you ever want a lesson in how to convey that you're falling in love with someone with no dialogue and
Hmm.
just your face without any verbal facilities,
Hmm.
watch Robert Forster looking at Jackie Brown and completely falling in love with her in that kitchen.
Hmm. Well, even just his reaction to her walking out of the jail with,
Oh
the
yeah,
music hits, and just like the dissolves and like just taking the time. Was it Tarantino on one of the bonus features? He was talking about it like Lawrence of Arabia, like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
the walk, and but like, yeah.
yeah. He's drinking coffee, or she's getting ready to make him coffee, and he's just sitting there, kind of talking to her, and he is just like smitten kitten,
Hmm.
while still kind of keeping the composure. But it's all,
Hmm.
and I just adore it. I'll also the fact that I mean I don't know if they're playing their exact ages, but she's supposed to be what 44, 46, and he's supposed to be
Yeah.
50. He's like 11 years her senior, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a version of this that's not directed by Quentin Tarantino,
Hmm.
who isn't. I mean, I don't know if he's cashing in the blank check so much as just the Weinsteins are letting him do what he want to do, and thank you for Pulp Fiction, yada yada. But there's a studio notes version of this. We're like, do they have to be 52 and 44?
Can we young him up? Yeah.
Yeah. But like, I mean,
Could it be
that's
Jon Stewart and David
Gwyneth
Schwimmer?
Paltrow, yeah, Drew Barrymore, yeah, none of that. And it's delightful to watch. And I mean, not only is it just as far as like I don't want to say representation, but a certain age is representation on screen, but also like it's the point of the whole fucking movie. The
Mhm.
whole thing isn't just it's a heist, it's being at this age.
Yeah,
Having worked being a bit, it's in the text, like how long he's been doing this job, where
exactly.
she's at her age with her work experience and education, and like standing around going, what is next? How did I get here? Where am I going?
Well, even and down to Ordell, like wanting to get that money out of Mexico, like to like it's like eyeing retirement's coming up for Melanie, coming up for everybody, like just everyone's getting that nest egg together or figuring out how to be set up for retirement. I
Yeah,
don't know.
for lack of a better word, it's a great middle-aged movie.
Oh yeah, made by a 35-year-old,
Well, that's what's so great about it, right? Is the the sharpness of the old noodle to really understand it all.
Mhm.
Because you could have told me this was directed by a 50-something-year-old person. I go, oh yeah, I get that. Because
Yeah.
he's not shooting it the way it's that zip and that pep, which I keep using as for Pulp Fiction. Though it isn't really.
Mhm.
There are other tricks of cinematic language at play here, but
Mhm.
no, he had the intelligence to shoot this as maturely as he could to match the material and the subtext of the movie, the theme of the movie, if you will.
I'm curious why he switched DP, because Andres Sakula had done the first two, and then this one is Guillermo Navarro. Like, you switched to Guillermo del Toro's guy who had already been working with Robert Rodriguez, had
Mhm.
done Desperado and stuff like that. I'm wondering, like, did he see something? Well, I
Is there
mean, because
something about?
Robert's stuff is so kinetic, like what did he see to slow it down? I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you could see beyond the edits,
Hmm.
and there's just something about this version of L.A. or
Hmm.
yeah, I'm not quite sure. I mean, the editing by
Sally
Sally,
Menke.
yep. I
All
mean,
right.
yeah, but it's still just as effective as ever in this
Hmm.
compared to, because I mean, I don't want to call it a turning point, but it seemed the impression I always got
Hmm.
growing up as a Quentin Tarantino fan when
Hmm.
people and I don't mean if it's I mean in 1997, 1998, 1999
Hmm.
when people would refer to his movies as violent, I'd be like, what are you fucking talking about? We cut away from the ear being cut off.
Yeah.
He intentionally doesn't show it to you.
Hmm.
You think it's violent because he made you imagine it. Pulp
Hmm.
Fiction, like we see Marvin's head from the outside of a window. We don't ever
Hmm.
see a close up of his face. Like it, people, a couple of Frank Whaley and people getting shot. There's not terribly violent movies. Jackie
Yeah.
Brown is very restrained in its violence. I used to always explain that Quentin Tarantino implies violence. You're doing the work. His movies aren't violent. And then fucking Kill Bill
Kill
came
Bill.
out. I'm like, God, you just ruined my argument about it as a whole.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because then and then
But
Death
when you
Brew. And,
and go yeah all the way Inglorious Bastards, Django, like we
Mhm.
the whole finale of Once Upon a Time. I mean, Once
Once
Upon a Time
Upon
in
a
Hollywood
Hollywood.
really is just like a nice 2 hours and 50 minutes of just jibber jabber jibber jabber. Oh my God, violence!
Yep.
Just smashing the fucking uh, but yeah, so Sally has proven over the years that she's adept
Mhm.
to it all. But I mean, like the coolest trick in this movie, and I look forward to it every time. I know it's coming every time. But Ordell's going and talking to Jackie, and you think he's got his hands like on her shoulders, maybe placed around her neck,
Split screen.
and the first time I'm watching, going, why are we watching Max Chair right now? And then that glove compartment opens, and
Hmm. And then you hear the click.
so good,
De
so
Palma,
good.
baby. De Palma.
Hitchcock.
De Palma.
but and that's the other fun thing. That scene to me is the fun turn point because they do make it. This isn't just some case of like I'm a civilian. Where caught up in some gangster shit. I mean, she's clearly running for Ordell.
Hmm.
but it is a fairly kind of domestic, not gangstery life that she lives.
Hmm.
So to see this woman in her 40s kind of grasp the ring, as it were, and
Hmm.
really take ownership of her predicament against Ordell.
Hmm.
I mean, it's a joy to watch this woman in her situation
Hmm.
turn the tables and kind of, take charge.
Hmm.
It's a joy.
Oh yeah.
And I love the way Sam Jackson gets to play, his world kind of being rocked a little bit. And
Hmm.
I mean, that's the obvious part of this movie is just the way she will play him, and then he thinks he's playing her, and then oh,
Hmm.
but I'm really working with Max, and that's great.
I never lied to you, Max.
It's very fun, and especially all the little. I think it's when they was it Sharonda?
Hmm.
No, the one who was supposed to be there instead of Melanie.
Hmm. I think it was Sharonda.
But the
The
fact
the
that the
the
one that's dancing for De Niro, right? No,
oh.
no, no. But she's the one that's at the mall. She's the
Hmm.
second person.
Hmm.
Um, all the little changes, the slight changes that, like, I love the fact that it's the 50,000, but she only places 40 in the bag and gives 10 to Melanie,
Hmm.
which I don't think was intentional. But once Melanie keeps it on her persons,
Hmm.
that really works in her favor later when the lie is, well, Melanie was going to take it all. She bursts into the room and, wait, no, she's still money. She had 10 on her. I'm like,
Hmm.
good thinking.
Yep.
That's really good.
Clever
I'll never
girl.
forget the first time I saw this movie, and
Hmm.
she's kind of coming out of the dressing room panicked. I'm like, why is she panicked? Who is she performing for?
Hmm.
But then you realize that, like, if the feds ever interview the lady from the department store,
Like,
she
oh
needs to
yeah.
be able to say, oh, she came out in a panic.
Hmm.
It's really,
And she got a nice suit out of it.
she did. Oh, and she does look damn good in it.
Yes.
She
Oh,
does.
Pam, Pam, Pam. Well, one
But,
thing I appreciate about this movie, it's the first real test run for Quentin, like of taking score from other
mm,
movies and using it, because like, there's no score in Reservoir Dogs. It's all the pop songs. Same
yep.
with Pulp Fiction, just the pop songs. But here he's like, oh, I'm gonna need some score. I'm just gonna use the score from Coffee. Like it's Roy Ayers' score for Coffee. Like it's about five different cues from Coffee that are for the non-pop song moments in here. And then also a track from Vampiros Lesbos. But yeah, like, you get it becomes more apparent, in the next go around when he's using the Ironside sting and Kill Bill and all like calling attention to itself. It doesn't even call attention to itself.
No.
Like, yeah, unless you know Coffee, like, oh, this is the music from
Right,
Coffee. Yeah.
right. Like, I'm familiar with the movie. I couldn't hum you a single thing from the score.
Oh,
And I
I have
guarantee,
the score on my phone.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you and Quentin could probably hum it. And
Mhm.
yeah. Speaking of which, I love the legacy of over at the Vista, the little coffee house that was next door, or was it an ice cream parlor before? I forget what it was next door, but it's now Pam's Coffee.
Coffee. Hmm.
Yeah, with a little tiny, like little seating nook where you can watch a little movie on TV.
Hmm.
But yeah, Pam's
You
Coffee, great
clocked
times.
the Sid Haig as the judge.
Yes. Well, also this time watching it, I clocked his name in the credits first, and I went, Sid
Hmm.
Haig.
Hmm. Captain Spaulding himself.
Yeah. And also, what's his butt who shows up in Kill Bill?
Bowman or Michael Bauman.
Yeah, Michael
Yeah.
Bowen. Yeah, but yeah, good old. I mean, also Tiny Lister was on a tear in the '90s between
Hmm.
Friday and I think the same year Jackie Brown came out was also Fifth Element.
Fifth Element. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I like how they seed him through like, oh, he's a photo, that Ordell's like, calls attention to, and then like he pops his head in like in the middle of the movie, like, hey boss, da 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 da, kind of setting you up maybe to think like, oh, he'll factor in at the, big time at the end, which and he doesn't really, like almost like a setup that to
right. I mean, he does help find Ordell,
yeah.
But yeah, you'd think a dude that big, we're gonna really play it off. But
Exactly.
even then, I'm watching her in the waiting in the office, and I forget if it's her or Max. But I'm like,
Hmm.
if I were them, I would I would call Ray Nicolette. So the second that scene happens where, he comes in, I'm like, I mean, I remember thinking this. Ray should just come out of that door or something. And then like
Hmm.
it all I'm like, this is like am I Jackie in this scenario? But this is exactly how it all should have unfolded.
Hmm.
But yeah, they do kind of set you up to think that this is going to be some kind of climax,
Hmm.
maybe even like a knockout brawl,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
because especially because it's Ordell who's commenting on it, and like, no,
Hmm.
he just Michael Gein just comes out and the end, you know,
Hmm.
wah, wah. Nothing flashy, not like none of it. No, looking at the toaster and then like,
Hmm.
just
Well, yeah, all the violence is very, abrupt, like
oh my
in
god,
the Ordell shooting him in the van, it's from behind, it's not you see
yes.
blood splatter, but you don't,
And he shoots him. So I imagine like it went across his gut and splattered out before
hmm.
the second. But I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to. It's not like Touch of Evil or anything, but I do just appreciate the drive around the
Hmm.
corner, another turn in the corner, turn into the lot, open the trunk.
Hmm.
These deliberate,
Yes.
you know, it's not. There's a lot of Quentin that is deliberate and
Hmm.
long and quiet.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's very intense, like the opening scene of Inglourious Bastards, just the whole time. Holy shit! Whereas
Hmm.
this, it's a little more. I don't want to say relaxed, but you know what's going to happen. But there isn't any tension. But it is
More like so then
there.
more like
We know there's some malice coming. But
well the bar scene in Inglorious, the three glass, that,
oh yeah,
you know, like
there's a
good
lot of that.
time, laughing, King Kong, all that, and then
Yeah, and just I forget what the fuck the food was that he orders, where Shoshana is in
the
the
strudel.
rest the strudel with the
Yeah.
cream.
Hmm.
You have to try it with the cream and just um but yeah, I forgot because it's been so long. This movie doesn't ever do the thing where like we really flash back.
Hmm.
But I remember like Jackie and Max go to the bar,
Hmm.
have a drink, and then it's not until after Ordell, the gun to his dick, and the next day when Max comes back to get it, I
Hmm.
remember thinking still like, oh, yeah, Max figured out like, oh, you took my gun, but that's when she goes, oh, after we talked at the bar about this, and I went, oh, there is more scheming happening, but we don't ever flash
Hmm.
back to it and go, haha, this is what really happened. It's really smart the way it dollops information without rubbing it in your face.
Yeah.
It's just as relaxed in the way it conveys data as it does in just, oh, I'm going to kill Beaumont in the car,
Yeah.
or
It trusts you to connect some dots
yeah,
and
yeah. She's she's going to fuck De Niro, but we're going to spend several minutes talking about making a shake and looking at a photo of Japan. Although the lack of subtlety with the blender and her kind of, I'm just watching this whole scene going like, she's going to fuck you, you know that, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Also, I mean, there's like Ordell is not the obvious Compton-based gun runner.
Mhm.
When you say like a Hermosa, like a beach bunny, there's like an accent, I'd imagine, or but she's, I don't want to say bitter, but she is kind of annoyed that, and again, it's in the text. She knows so much about the operation, but she doesn't get any cut of it. But like
Mhm.
she's there, Max, not Max. Ray Nicolette is not. There's a lot of these people that they're not too wacky, but they are not the obvious when you describe a person and their career and their environment. These are not the versions of these people I imagine, and that's also
Mhm.
really refreshing to me.
Yeah.
Keeps it interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
but Pam does deserve her flowers because she
Oh
is.
yeah. I think it was because she got the Golden Globe nom and then he got the Oscar nom, I think is
Yes,
how that shook
he
down. Yeah.
didn't get a Golden Globe nom either.
I don't think so.
Thought. Oh,
Because
okay.
I was, it well, because yeah, it's been a little while since I watched the bonus because how we were originally going to do this at a different date, so I had
Yeah.
watched them. I didn't, so I did a lot of research
Uh,
several weeks ago, so I'm trying to call back. But Quentin in an interview, who's talking about like hoping that you know that Robert Forster would get some recognition, like because he was saying that like oh like this critic group, went for De Niro, and that critic group went for Sam Jackson, and then Pam got you know, the Golden Globe, and then Robert got the Oscar nod. Like he was worried that like there was going to be no attention paid to Robert, and that at least he got the Oscar nom.
I'm very happy about that. But yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot about it.
Mhm.
Um, but good for her too. I mean, there's a moment where it's when she gets picked up in Max's car.
Mhm.
I think they mentioned like the money or something. Who uh, he picked up Beaumont or something, and
Mhm.
reaction shot to her. Oh, Ordell is the one. It's just a very quick exchange. I was
Mhm.
here the other day. I picked up Beaumont. Oh, who paid for that? Ordell. The second she hears Ordell, she does this like kind of like really slow blink
Mhm.
that's slightly longer than her previous blinks.
Mhm.
And within that one blink, it's like, oh fuck, Ordell's gonna kill me. Like
Mhm.
I'm gonna fucking die.
Mhm.
And again, you want to study an actor who can tell you everything
Yeah.
without saying anything. Go watch her take a slow blink after hearing that data. Like
Mhm.
really great stuff.
Yeah. Like,
Really
yeah,
great.
I think
She
so.
almost kind of she almost kind of like looks off and takes a slow blink to herself. And I'm like, oh, it's it all. Oh, it's good.
Yeah, it gives you time to watch people thinking. What be it, Ordell thinking, Jackie thinking, Max thinking, like everyone,
Yeah.
you get to
I
see the wheels turn.
I want to see the Ted Turner like Gremlins 2 version of like the happier ending where like Max hangs up the phone and runs out and jumps in the car and flies off to Spain with Jackie.
Oh, I
Because that's what
love.
I'd do if I were him.
I just love like the lipstick smear on it.
It's
Like
still there.
yeah, exactly.
You know what I love?
What?
I love when he's on the phone with the potential client and he says, I'm sorry. He's like, this isn't a good time. Can you call me back in 30 minutes? Not call me back in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
And the
I'm
way
gonna.
he turns around and walks away, it's like, no, I'm gonna need to go be sad
When
for
he walks out of focus, like
yeah. And does he even put his like hands up?
I think so. Yeah.
But he's like, and this slow, like sad walk out of focus where it's like, no, I'm gonna need a good 30 minutes to just be sad.
Yeah. Well, that and see that's this goes to my theory that the best Tarantino is sad Tarantino. This Kill Bill, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, best Tarantino is sad Tarantino. Like it's awesome to watch fucking Hitler get blasted away and friggin' watch all of the South get dynamited in
Mhm.
Django, and watch stuntman Mike get the shit kicked out of him.
So good.
But sad Tarantino, best Tarantino. Like I don't know. I don't like like it just it's good. That's the good shit. I don't,
Now, are you lumping Kill Bill 1 and 2 together as one?
yeah.
Because I consider. I mean, look, I get it. She wakes up in the hospital, like there is, but I feel like the second movie, there's just something sadder about it.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I consider it one,
Okay,
movie. And
yeah.
yeah.
So, and are those your tops?
Those are my tops. It's Once Upon a Time, Kill Bill, Jackie. Those
Okay.
are my top in that order.
Yeah, I have a real hard time ranking Quentin
Mhm.
Tarantino because every time I mean, I have ranked it, and I still put Reservoir Dogs at number one. I just fucking love it. But uh, when you're putting them all together, it's one of those rare cases where you look at like maybe these nine movies and you go, why is that one there? It's like, well, yeah, but they're all fucking really good.
Mhm.
It's not like some are blatantly, I have my ones at the bottom, but when you really kind of look at it all, like,
Mhm.
is Kill Bill great? Yeah. Is Pulp Fiction great? Yeah. Is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood great? Yeah. Like, is Inglourious Basterds great? Yeah. Like, they're all, and they're all kind of delivering a certain, as far as their differences go, there's still a certain kind of use of language, use of
Mhm.
silence, use of score, editing,
Yep.
like that all deliver what I come to. But although I will admit, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the
Mhm.
first time I saw it, I'm like, that was good, but I put it pretty low.
Mhm.
Second time I saw it, I'm like, why do you have it so low? It's
Yep. Your number one
like,
is my last place.
whoa,
Oh,
but you still like it, right?
oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely, I still like it.
yeah. There's something I find a little juvenile about his insistence on 10 films,
Hmm.
but he is onto something, and that as long as he keeps making good ones. Right now, we're 9 for 9. It's not a bad one in there.
Yep.
There really isn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't get like the people who put down Death Proof.
I don't either. I think it's fucking great.
One of the greatest car chases
Ever.
ever. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And to every once in a while, I'll talk to someone who's like, oh, but God, it's so boring. I'm like, why? And they go, like, well, all the people talking. I'm like, I will never, and forget just grind, not just Death Proof, recurringly with a few other movies too, where I'm like, have you seen other Quentin Tarantino movies? Like it's dialogue.
Yeah, but it's
If maybe
but
if your first movie ever was like Kill Bill and the House of the Blue
House of
Leaves or
Blue
whatever,
Leaf.
yeah, like if that's your introduction to Quentin, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, maybe it's just because I'm biased because with Death Proof, not only is it a lot of dialogue, maybe a lot of dialogue,
Hmm.
but it's about shit that like I really care about that maybe other people don't as much.
Hmm.
Like we really are going to talk about movies and music,
Hmm.
you know. Um, yeah, no, I fucking love Death Proof.
Yeah.
I have one
It,
friend.
it
It's
was.
I have one friend. It's his favorite Quentin Tarantino movie, and I'm like, I get that. I respect that.
I mean, it's the Tarantino slasher film.
Hmm. Not only is it the Tarantino slasher film, I also respect the choice that even though it's like, oh, we're gonna make it look all grindhouse and shitty, and Rodriguez makes it all scratchy with the jumps and all that, and Quentin does that for like the first 20, 30 minutes, and then like a little bit less, and then he's like, you know what? It's just a fucking movie now. Fuck the gimmicky shit, and it's a visual. It tapers off.
Yeah, and he's his own DP.
It's true,
That, that's yeah.
but
I analyze which DPs he obviously from Sakula to Guillermo to Robert. What do you think? So I think because he uses Bob Richardson primarily these days, uh, from pretty much Kill Bill on, aside from doing his own DPing on, because Bob Richardson shot most of Oliver Stone's films,
mhm.
and Quentin wrote Natural Born Killers and fucking hates Oliver Stone's what Oliver Stone did to his script. Do you
Yeah.
think a little bit of it was all like, I'm gonna snatch your fucking guy?
Well, my first response is yeah, like a little bit. Yes. Like, is that in his head a little bit?
Uh-huh.
Without maybe it being for the forefront, like, if we were making a biopic, would there be a scene where he is behind a desk and saying, I'm gonna do this? No.
Mhm.
But is that in there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, I get it when it's your script, and but I fucking like I love Natural Born Killers.
Yeah. I revisited that one a year or two ago, and I'm like,
I mean, I get it, but how'd your revisit go? Because I haven't watched it in
oh,
a minute.
it was a good revisit, but like, wow, fucking Warner Brothers put
Oh, yeah.
this out.
Wild.
Like, there's like that. It's the Warner Brothers logo, and then you're in it. Like, yeah, just insanity that like
David Zaslav would never.
exactly. But yeah, the
Yeah,
studios fucking had balls.
yeah, they really did. Yeah, Warner. There's a period of time where Warner Brothers was my favorite studio,
Mhm.
even into the early 2000s, because they were swinging with movies that, like, I knew. I'm like, oh my god, you're throwing so much money at Watchmen. You're not going to get your money back on Watchmen. And
Mhm.
there's a lot of movies where I'm like, you're not going to get your money back on Speed Racer. But I love that you're throwing all this money at really kind of big swing movies. Warner Brothers used to
Matrix.
swing really big.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
yeah, I mean, if fucking, is it? Well, they were mostly just a distributor, but from JFK one year to Malcolm X the next year.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see both sides. I understand why Quentin feels the way he does. Just like I think The Shining is a masterpiece, but I also understand Stephen King's
Stephen
point of
King.
view,
Hmm.
or even fans of the book's point of view. I
Hmm.
get it. I myself love Jurassic Park the book, but I also like the way it was adapted. But I don't hold it against, you know. But Natural Born Killers is a little different. But I really do. I know we're not here to talk about Jurassic Park, but it's
Yeah.
just a random side note. But I think
And Sam Jackson, it's all in there.
it is all in there, yeah. But Jurassic Park is if you're going to take that novel, I actually think they did all the right things with turning that into that movie
Mhm.
and still letting the book be that book. But anyway, Jackie Brown, really good movie.
Very good movie.
Yeah. Do you have anything else you want
Um, yeah, I did take some notes on my phone, but I think we hit them all. What did I have? Um, Shouting out David and Sandy Wasco for the South Bay. They were his production designers on most of his films. Da, 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 da. Oh,
Robert
the
Richardson? Yeah, we covered
yeah
that.
the
Uh,
just the chicks with gun or the guns video.
Boy, did they use that in every fucking commercial or clip
Yeah,
on a late night show. Yeah.
but no, the gal who looks like Demi Moore, and she goes, Demi Moore. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
but by this point, Quentin, had worked with Bruce, and I think they were still Bruce and Demi were still married at that time. Like,
Hmm.
I wonder, like, was that some sort of an inside joke, or like, I was that just a synapse that fired
I wonder. That's a good question.
because he was even in, his four room segment, and
Yeah, I don't know. Because I mean, I don't even think she looks that much like Demi Moore.
yeah.
And it's not
Um,
like her and Bridget Fonda were ever in like stuff
mhm.
together. I don't know. It's like if I ever go to a Q&A, that'd be my question.
But no,
Yeah.
yeah.
It might not be
Just
anything to read into, just like in Ghost Point Blank when they're having the shootout in the liquor mart and there's that four character cutout for the Pulp Fiction VHS
mhm.
and Bruce's head gets shot off.
Mm.
I just think
Or
they
even
want to shoot a head off. I don't think there's anything where John Cusack was like, fucking Bruce Willis.
or why that particular clip of Tony Curtis getting interviewed also that's like on the TV in here in Jackie Brown. Like, I don't know, just some of the like some
Right.
thought.
Because there's some movies where the clip is pretty intentional or there's a joke that we're all in on,
Mm,
like the Evil Dead, like the Wes Craven and
mhm.
Sam Raimi back and forth of it all. Intentional references that have a subtextual meaning. But yeah, that one, that's
But because
maybe that could be a thing that's just an inside joke just for him.
I guess, yeah, because you gotta
Is there a
like
greater
Tarantino
context?
is the no, but I don't know, but Tarantino's such a reference guy that you just sort of almost have to try to read in, but I've never, come up with anything. Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't seen his whole body of work to tell you, oh, well, in this movie, blah 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 blah.
Hmm.
So, eh,
All right, some ambiguity
yeah,
to leave this video on.
we're leaving this with some questions.
Well, yeah. Drop those in the comments, guys. Smash
Yeah,
that subscribe button in the
yeah, and be
comments.
sure to hit the like and all that crap. But yeah, thank you for joining me. It's been fun. I'm glad you suggested this one because it's the one that, even though it has its fans, still to this day, when it comes to talking movies about Quentin, I've had a lot of conversations about Kill Bill. I've
Hmm.
had a lot of conversations about Inglourious Bastards. I don't get to have as many conversations about Jackie Brown.
Hmm. It's the good shit.
It is a good show.
That Tarantino is best Tarantino. That's what I want to leave everyone with
It's a good
here.
takeaway. So thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
And yeah, I'll be back to talk about some other movie in a few weeks. Bye.